针对某一个东西来说，没有任何一个可灭的 ，OK 是这样。
You could also just say for it or for that.
Yeah, for it.
So what is this it or that? Then we have to go into the relative clause, which is yanna jatam noppanna, yat na jatam na uppanna. So that which is not born, which means it has not arisen. So these are synonyms. Born or arisen are synonyms. So for that which is not, as for that which is not born and not arisen, it has no disappearance whatsoever. For that thing, there is no disappearance whatsoever. So you see, neuter first vibhakti singular, neuter first vibhakti singular, neuter first vibhakti singular, participle, participle, past participle but active, past participle but active, because these are all intransitive verbs.
So it's past participle.
In this case, it's active.
Yeah, it's active. But how do you translate it as a present?
For that which is not born,
Which is not born.
and which has not arisen.
Yeah. So in English it would be past
A past participle.
past participle passive. What is not arisen?
No, it is not
In
arisen.
English it is.
I don't think it's passive in English. Arisen is an intransitive verb. It just takes the verb to be as an auxiliary. That doesn't make it passive.
I think in English it anyway.
But actually, when you say that which is arisen, you're using is as a copula. If you use the auxiliary verb, you would say it has arisen. That which has not arisen.
Yeah, but if you say it has arisen, it's already.
It's intransitive. It's an intransitive verb, so it could not possibly be passive, to the best of my knowledge.
I'm not sure, but I think it belongs into this category anyway. Yat, OK， 它下是关联到这个 yat， 对不对 ？yat 就是中心主格，对不对？单数。那zatam na uppanam， so na zatam na uppanam basically means the same， 对，就是一样的意思了。zatam 是一个过去分字，对不对？就是神器了。然后 uppanam 也是过去分字，也是中心单数组的，对不对？所以怎么翻译呢？就是说呀，他现在开始帮你干嘛？that which is not arisen,
That which
is what has no disappearing whatsoever.
it has no disappearance.
Yeah. 就是那个没有生气的东西了，没有生气的东西的，也没有一种灭，或者任何一个灭这样的东西，是这样子。懂意思吗？这个它下是关联到这个有。
请问一下，他为什么要两个声在一起？用红味，那个呢？那加汤跟呢
She asked, why is this reduplication?
Sometimes it's for emphasis.
就是强调的。
But in the sutras, you often have cases of small synonyms, and then the commentators fill in. The commentators might tell you that these are synonyms, but not exactly. What was really meant is there's a slight difference of emphasis. So, for example, I don't know, they could say When it is jata, it refers to the arising of a continuum. When it's utpanna, it refers to the arising of a single instant. So they could bring some hypothetical differences. But in the sutras, very often we find terms where one term is explained through another one, which is a synonym. Yeah.
Oh, the Chinese translation is a little bit different. The modern Chinese translation from Sanskrit into Chinese is a little bit different. 就是说这个白话翻译从梵文就是到中文白话的这个翻译，稍微跟他解释有一点稍微不一样，意思是一样，但是它的文法上不一样。他说无生者，不生也不灭，不生也不灭。然后因为他的解释是说呢，杂tam那乌帕那就是一样的意思，所以他是说无生之也没什么可灭的，大概是什么？
不生则不灭。
对，大概是这样的，无生之不灭，但是他说无生之不生不灭，那是有点不一样的。对，懂我意思吗？According to the Chinese translation, the sentence is taken like this: Yat nadatam, and then 可以，你们先讲。Yat nadatam, and then it is like tasya na panam, tasya开始，那tasya开始panam banga. This would be the Sanskrit. You understand what I mean?
Yes, but that's impossible because utpannam is neuter and bhanga is masculine. So it could not be that utpanna qualifies bhanga. No way.
So say it again.
Since utpanna is neuter and bhanga is masculine, it doesn't work because utpanna could not qualify bhanga. Moreover, we have
what cannot qualify what?
Utpannam cannot qualify bhanga.
No, that's not what I meant to say. Maybe I put it in the wrong way. It says what I translate to in English, the Chinese. So that what doesn't rise, or what is not arising, or it doesn't arise and it does not disappear.
That's kind of possible.
That's possible.
That's possible if you read an implied tab here. If you read an implied tab, then it's okay.
Can you complete it, please?
Yeah. Yat na jata na tad utpanna na tasya kaschit bhanga. That which is not arisen, that which is not born, that thing, that, has not arisen.
Yeah.
For that thing, there is no bhanga whatsoever. That's possible. That means reading an implied tat bit here. And that's one possible reading of the sentence. It's not...
No, it's not the same what I said. Anyway.
It's not exactly the same, but I think it goes close, no?
No, it says, try it again.
Okay.
What is not the reason, this does not arise and does not disappear.
Doesn't it boil down to the same thing that I said?
No. What is not the reason does not arise and does not disappear. But what you said is what does what does not arise, does not
arise and doesn't have disappearance. So I think it's the same thing, no?
他把两个声拆开来，
对对
他，把两个声拆开来解释。
他是谁？这边
对对对对，中文
对对，中文是正确的。
然后那个马丁老师的意思是，他的解释是两个声是强调的，所以他两个解读方式不太一样。
不太一样，对，这是我刚才跟他讲的，对。
一个有一个声当主词，然后外面那个声。
对对对对，是没错，对对。
然后马丁老师是直接就是整句话就是声里面。
对对对，就是我对，没错，我就是要跟他讲了，但是他还没有明白我的意思。也不是我，还是可以跟他。So yeah. Because you understand Najatam na Utpanam as something which refers to Yat, right? And
Not in the second interpretation. In the second
no,
one,
I mean in your first.
in the first,
The first interpretation.
in the second one you put tat here,
Yeah.
so this also becomes a main clause.
Yeah.
So we have one relative clause and two main clauses.
Okay. Oh, I see.
So we can read in that way actually, that's okay.
But then you would imply a touch.
Yeah.
But this is not written there.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It can be left omitted.
When you have yat and that, very often you have
Oh.
one of the two omitted. So
Oh.
it's not
Okay.
Yannajatam, not panna. That which is, indeed, if a sentence stopped here,
Yeah.
then that would make perfect sense to read it in that way. That which has not been born has not arisen.
Okay.
I did not go for that immediately because jat and utpanna to me looked more or less like synonyms, so it didn't sound like much of an argument.
Oh, okay. I see.
But it kind of boils down to the same thing. I don't think there's a huge difference of sense.
The meaning not, but in terms of grammar, we want to understand the grammar. Right?
In terms of, you do have several options. That's often the case. Like, I usually give you what I think is the most plausible one, but we could find other ways. Actually, reading it with an implied tat is not very strange, it's even nice.
Interesting.
Yeah.
反正他刚才就解释，没错，这就是这个刚刚这个白话翻译跟这个他的第一个英文翻译是问法方面的有差别，意义方面当然是差不多了。但是他说这个白话翻译也可以按照方文去解释。如果你把这个yat na jatam后面放一个 tat， 那就变成是 tat na utpanam 是主句 yat。那jatam 就是关系句，对不对？然后这两个就是也关联到这个他是邦嘎哈，那是跟这个中文就变得是一样的。
Okay, so maybe now we have a general idea, we can read this sentence again once. Yannajatam notpannam nadasya kaschit bhangara. Oh, incidentally, let me just point out, you already have noticed, I'm sure, but the theme of lack of arising and cessation is recurrent in Buddhist texts, and indeed this very first answer somehow brings us back to the Mula Madhyama Karika. The first chapter is about lack of arising. And the very two terms in the Mula Madhyama Karika are anirodham and utpadam. So we have this thematic link. Okay, and now there is the conclusion of the answer, I think. Anutpada, dharma, kshanti, pratilambha, advaya pravesha. Anutpada, dharma, kshanti, pratilambho, advaya pravesha. So this gives us a definition. We have two elements in the sentence, which are two nouns. the first vibhakti singular masculine, so nominative masculine, ending in short a. So it's telling us what is the advaya pravesha, what is the entrance into non-duality. The entrance into non-duality is the pratilambaha, the obtainment of what? Of kshanti, of the forbearance, the ability to bear with, anupada dharma, the dharma of non-arising. From here? Okay. Advaya pravesha. What is the entrance, pravesha, into non-duality, advaya? It is the pratilambaha, the obtainment of what? Kshanti, of the ability to bear with.
To what?
Bear. Bear, B-E-R, B-E-A-R, bear, to bear with, to forbear.
To bear,
yeah, to bear with. To bear with what? Anupada dharma, the dharma of non-arising.
Sorry, the kshanti, what is it?
From ksham, it's again a kridanta, but referring to the action itself, or forbearing, bearing with.
Forbearing.
Yeah, or being able to bear with, to tolerate, in a way. And dharma here might be a synonym of dharmata, because I think there's a recurrent, the usual expression is probably anutpada dharmata kshanti. So one of the meanings of dharma is dharmata. Sometimes dharma is a synonym of dharmata. So maybe here we could take it like that. So the ability to bear with the nature of things being non-arising. That, I would think that's a plausible way to understand it. And this is, of course, Tat Purusha, 6 vibhakti Tat Purusha. Kshantehe pratilambha, the obtainment of Kshanti. Here is a case where we have a sambandha, because this would be 6 vibhakti, so the genitive, which indicates sambandha. But this sambandha means a link between two words. But this link in this case is also a karaka, because it happens to be the object of the action. It's the obtainment of kshanti, so that's what we are obtaining. The obtainment of forbearance. So that happens to be the object of the action of obtaining.
So what would be then the object?
Kshanti. Yeah, that's why.
The object of pratilambha.
Exactly.
Okay, that's what.
That's why this would be called karma nishashti. It's a 6 vibhakti in the sense of the karma, the object of the action.
Oh, okay. 那这句话就也不会太难了，因为 via pravesaha， 我想我们已经懂了，对不对 ？pravesaha 就是进入的意思 ，advaya is 什么？就是什么不二，对不对？啊，所以这种进入不二是什么？就是它的pada dharma kshanti pratilambha， 然后这个是一个福慧语，什么样的福慧语？就是这个 tat purusha， 对不对 ？tat purusha 在这边是tat purusha 是什么意思？你们还记得吗？就是说这个福慧语里面的两个member， 就是会有不同的格，有不同的格，是这个意思。OK， 所以它三级前面anupada dharma 三级跟 pratilambha pratilambha is also Tridanta.
Yes.
It's from lab.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. lab 就是得到的意思，对不对 ？lambha 就是他刚才说的 Tridanta 是 primary suffix， 是主要的一个后置字，就让它民族化了，对不对？它是把这个行动，就是形容这个行动本身的意思了，所以就是得到的意思，但是它是一个名字， 所以这个 advaya pravisaha 就是一个得到，什么样的一个得到？就是santi就是 to forbear，in English to forbear 就是忍受，可以承担 ，OK， 所以就是说这个人抽的得到，听懂吗？人抽的得到，那就是santi就是如果我们把它分析出来，那这个不会语变成是一个属个关系，对不对？santi应该是属个，对不对？但是什么样的santi就是这个anupada dharma santi，懂吗？anupada是不生 ，dharma 就是法，所以是一个不生法，对不对？
无生法忍。
对，就是中文就是中文的这个专有名字是无生法忍，对不对？无生法忍，对。但是我们刚刚就是从这个文法的结构去分析的，Anupada dharma santi, this is also a kind of is also tatpurusha.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
The only one which, if you just say anupada dharma though, it could even be a karmatare, just those two.
Say it again, sorry?
Anupada dharma on its own could be a karmatare.
Yes.
Just that.
Yeah. It could be both.
It could be both.
Okay.
Okay, so shall we read this all?
Yeah.
Anupada dharma kshanti pratilambo dvaya pravesha.
Anupada dharma kshanti pratilambo dvaya pravesha.
Okay, so maybe now it's 3:25, so we can have our break. Okay?